Greetings, beloved brothers and sisters. There is something that's available to you right now that you may not believe is available to you because everything else in your life you have to work for, and you have to earn, and you have to learn, and you have to practice, and you have to achieve mastery to get to a place where you can experience this. And while that's true in the land of perception, in the land of the ego, where you come from a presupposition that you are separate, it isn't true if you come from a different place, which I'm calling coming from your heart. Not the blood pump, but your heart. If you come from your usual way of acquiring knowledge, you'll be using your perceptions, which make you believe that there's a reality out there that impinges upon your senses. And then your brain will compare whatever it perceives to whatever you've perceived before. This is just how the brain is wired right now. So if you're in the world of perception, then everything that comes in has to be compared to what you've seen before. And being separate, you are in a state of survival. Physical survival, social survival, emotional survival. And in order to survive, you must categorize your perceptions in terms of what they can do for you or what they might do to you. Things that can do something for you, or seem to be able to, look like they could save you and perhaps postpone death and keep you safe. And things that are perceived as separate from you, but perhaps threatening, need to be guarded against and defended against and avoided. And thus your life is really about looking back and looking forward. And then when the judgments are applied to yourself, and you look back, you feel guilt and shame, or sometimes pride. And when you look forward, you feel anxiety and worry. It's not just that you're worried about bad things. You're worried about good things not lasting. Love that is lost or could be lost. And so when you learn spiritual concepts and spiritual ideas, they have an immediate appeal. Something resonates with your heart. It's a knowing. I know this is right. I know this is true. But very quickly, the ego co-opts that and says, now I need to learn more about this. And it puts it on the path of time. The more you study A Course in Miracles or any other spiritual text, the better you'll get and the more enlightened you will become. But that really is a wing and no prayer. You will not get there in that way. What's required is that you ease away from your usual method of perceiving and learning and achieving and accomplishing and shift to your heart. To make this shift requires that you release what you think it takes to get someplace. When you think of someone you love, you are with that person. even if you can't see them. You are being with them. And in that sense, you are coming from your heart. It's easy to love a person from your heart. There is a knowing from your heart that's very different from the learning that takes place with your mind. So the shift from your head to your heart is extremely important, extremely easy, and yet it does require a release of how almost everyone does their life. Instead of needing time to bring things to you or help you avoid things, from your heart, there is no time. And what you are is blessed and grateful and relieved and at peace. And this shift happens when you start to desire peace and love and joy and gratitude more than figuring it out, accomplishing, achieving. When those things become less important to you, you'll realize how important your heart is. Love is everything. And the love that you have for people and for yourself is timeless. And you can come from that place whenever you wish. Gone will be the need to pray for something, and it'll be replaced with the recognition of how blessed you actually are and how loved you feel and how wonderful it is to realize how much you love, that you are love, you are your heart. And from that place, your head can serve you and serve God. But the heart must be the leader, the place of your being, your true self. Whenever you can, let yourself bring your consciousness to your heart and watch what happens. Breathe into that area, release from that area, and watch your world transform. I love you from my heart and always will. Yeshua.